in terms of overall quality for a $120 plate carrier, I think it's pretty
for the money.
I think so. I think it runs really well right here.
It is by far one of the most comfortable, plate carrier systems that I run in as well.
I don't know about you guys, but aren't you tired of seeing these retard shills everywhere on this platform, putting up the most slop outfit and kit together and trying to give you advice on how to do it?
Let's say, for whatever reason, I get shot.
There is plenty of content of people that really know what they're doing, have direct experience, and can show you more what I'm talking about and even more details. Just dig for them. They might not be as flashy and popular as some of the other YouTubers, but I promise that it's worth looking into these creators that have a lot more knowledge on the subject. The point of this video is not to be pretentious and tell you, oh, I know everything, please, just this is how you do it. No, the point of this video is like, there is a lot of slop on social media, and there is a lot of people that just will wear a plate carrier because they want to wear them on camera, but they obviously don't understand why they're wearing a plate carrier, and they never even put a bit of thought into their plate carrier and how to set it up correctly. So there's also a lot of good information, so just make sure you filter which information you take in and out. That's about it. So number one, what do you need the plate carrier for? Why do you have it? Like, what do you want to carry on it? What's your mission? Figure that out first. There's many answers. Is please make sure it fits correctly to your body. This is super important. You really got to make sure these things fit right. I see so many loosey, sloppy plate carriers, especially the back plate is always drooping all the way down. And you gotta figure it out, man. Like, you cinch these things up, make sure they're right. This should be riding in the correct position on your upper back. I will post a picture, so make sure you do that. Here's another thing that I do to all my plate carriers of similar setup is the zip tie mod. So as you can see, zip tie, and then hard to see here, but zip tie. And this is a cheap but proven modification that constrains your cummerbund to the back panel and allows it to not flop as much. So in terms for 50 cents, you're getting a major upgrade in rigidity, and I find it to be more comfortable. Additionally, it restrains the cummerbund from sliding in and out. For example, this plate carrier has a pass-through design where the cummerbund is free to pass through. This one doesn't, and that one doesn't as well because there is Velcro there, so not so much. But if you don't have a structural cummerbund, which most plate carriers don't, this kind of tricks, it's a little trick that allows when you load it up with weight to not immediately droop down. If it's uncomfortable, you can use foam inserts, for example, to make it more comfortable. For example, here I have some in the shoulder. I attach some to the plate itself. And you can also use foam as a spacer to make sure the plate is riding all the way up against the plate bag to make sure it's not drooping down. So there is many inexpensive tricks you can play to make sure your stuff fits right. And also, don't go out and spend a ton of money, because of course some company's gonna make a solution for it, and they are gonna charge you $40, $60 for a plate foam insert for comfort, even though you can just buy a yoga mat, a 5 and below, for $5 and just cut it yourself. So just be mindful. You can do a lot of things to like save money. There are DIY here and there. Another thing that you can make use of is bungee cord. Bungee cord is awesome, and you can do anything you want to control pouches with bungee cord. If your shit is flopping around, bungee cord. What this allows you to do is control the tension of things, so that when you don't use stuff, they just don't flop anywhere. And if you do use stuff, they actually help it keep in place and not, again, just flop so much when you run around and whatnot. And then, of course, this plate carrier, this one doesn't have plates, that one doesn't have plates at the moment. My plates are in here. Again, I'm not made out of money, so one set of plates that gets shared from whichever scenario I want to take part of. Another thing that I do value personally, and again, this is preference, right? But tubes. I want them in my plate carrier. I don't want anything else because they're just so damn convenient. The thing that is very annoying is having to lift up all of this, especially with the magazine going against the plate. It's not gonna lift, and then you gotta put your cummerbund. You gotta make sure it's regulated correctly. You skip all of that with tubes, and as you can see, it's super easy to do and undo. And even if the plate carrier doesn't come with tube, which, by the way, except for that one, which are sewn into the cummerbund, these two don't. So there is methods around it. This very cheap solution here allows you to pretty much just fold your cummerbund and then just retrofit it to have tubes. And these just Velcro in between. As you can see, this one has soft armor on the inside. So this one has tubes, and then same exact deal with that one. Same exact situation where the cummerbund is folded. Now, as you can see, all these plate carriers, which are somewhat wildly different, but actually wildly similar as well, they are set up in a very, very similar manner. So I keep my setups somewhat consistent, and I believe that's something you should do too. The first thing you can see is how all my plate carriers are set up to carry at least 4 magazines. Can you carry more? Absolutely, with the addition of belts and multiple pouches, but at the bare minimum 4. So this is a special one where I can fit 4 in the front, but if you look at the Italian one here, I used to have 4 in the front, but then I changed it to 3 in the front, and then, you know, this one on the side is always there. So now, looking at this black one, you got 3 in the front and then possibly 2 right up here. So for a total of 5. Second thing, I like having a GP pouch on my right side. So again, we have GP pouch, and then kind of out of frame, but GP pouch. The left arm being up on the gun allows me to have a lot more room on my left side, therefore why the left side is always there for a radio. This black one, which has an external radio pouch. This one, for example, if we look inside of here, you're gonna see an internal radio pouch which sits under the cummerbund. And this is by far my preferred method of carrying a radio because it keeps it very nicely against your body and it's not wiggling anywhere. So it's my preferred method of doing it. Of course, I have one radio wing because they're actually quite, the one I like is quite expensive. So I didn't buy multiple for multiple plate carriers, but it is on this one right now for its purpose. Another piece of gear that I really, really like is having a dump pouch. And I don't necessarily want to use a belt every single time. So I choose the sword exploitation pouch, which just unfolds from the bottom and it allows you to throw anything you want in there. And as you can see, even this one has had the same pouch for a long time. A couple other notes: support equipment, knives, you know, if you got those, make sure they're not obnoxious, sticking out and, you know, in weird places, they don't become a snag hazard. Push to talks for radios, make sure they are tucked in and cable managed correctly. If you have hydration bladders, you know, this, for example, these plate carriers have these little loops for that. So again, police those. Make sure all your wires are policed and make sure all your pull tabs and little cords, and make sure your bungee cords are tied in correctly and they're not just flopping everywhere. Another thing that is a must for me is multi-tools. I carry a multi-tool anytime I'm out in the field and whatnot, or doing anything, because, you know, those are just very useful. So again here, multi-tool can fit in here, multi-tool can fit in there, and then multi-tool can fit in here. So again, something I share, right? So I have actually here, I have multiple places to put a multi-tool if I need to. So anyway, I wanted to show you my philosophy on how I set up my gear. Hopefully that's helpful to you, and you learn, even if you learn one single thing, then I'm happy about it. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.